So much to talk about as we enter into the All-Star break. 3 games to go before we jump into that. And the Tigers are rolling.
They are.
59, 35, 13 games. And believe it or not, the Royals jumped up into second place. Those last 3 or 4 teams, well, you can't count the White Sox, but the Royals, Twins, and Guardians seem to be bouncing around each other every day, it seems like.
The Royals did what?
The Royals are in second place. They are 7-3 in their last 10. 13 games out. That's still a big lead. But they jumped up to second place. A half game above the Twins.
Yeah. This division's over.
I would kind of say so. It would be a tragic thing for the Tigers to lose this lead. But you know what though, Cole? They've been surprising me.
Who?
You gotta be a little surprised. People didn't know what we were going to see with them coming into playing the Nationals and then the Rays and
Nationals stink.
They gave them They gave them a pretty good.
Yeah, they
run
split
for
with
it.
them, didn't they?
No, they lost the Nationals.
Yeah, they lost the Nationals.
They lost that series, and but I'll tell you something: the Cleveland series a couple series ago.
That was the cover-up for the Nationals.
That was a great series. Skubal pitched beautifully, and I know. Coming into the Rays aren't a chump change. They are,
Yeah, they're not.
They won the series. Of course, it was a kind of a letdown game yesterday. It was a rain delay, and they started a little later. They looked a little in that game. It was a typical. It seems like they win. The game before they won really good, and then this game they came out slow, 7-3. Mm-hmm. But what do you think?
Where are you going to get that? It's the dog days,
doesn't it? Don't you seem like it seems like that all the time?
It's the dog days. It's the dog days of summer. So you're gonna get some of those sluggish outputs, and it hasn't hit the Tigers yet because they're winning series, so it hasn't hit them. So you never know with baseball. The best team doesn't always win the game. So
True.
That's the thing about baseball. But they haven't hit a bad stride here yet. They haven't hit. They lose, here or there or whatever, but they're maintaining winning the series. All these series. So it's going to be interesting to see how long they can survive, how long they can last or keep this up without hitting that 6-game losing streak, because every team goes through it.
Yeah, they have, and the Tigers haven't hit that yet, and And
I'm still not sold on the bullpen.
No, and we're going to talk about that a little later on in the show. Another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit later on in the show is I sat back and you hear all the rumblings, Co. You hear the rumblings of, well, what does the Tigers need? What should they trade for? Should they do this? Should they do that? And then I'm also going to bring up some things that I think are pertinent to this. Do you spend the farm to grab a couple of good players? Do you get rid of these 3 players, Max Clark, McConaughey, and I think his name is Jose Berchue?
Yeah.
Do you trade guys like that away just to get somebody to get you one World Series?
Yep.
You do?
Yep.
See, that's where I disagree with you. I listen, to be honest with you, do they have the firepower to beat the Dodgers?
No.
No, not at all. And we don't know what we're going to see going into the last half of the season. I just don't know if spending the farm, so to speak.
They may not have the firepower to beat Houston. People keep.
Well, Houston is up in the West, and they're up by 6.5 games over the Mariners. Who the Mariners come to town tomorrow night here at Comerica Park, and they play them. So, but listen.
Yeah, I would give it up.
You'd give it up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to throw some stats out here because it is All-Star break coming up here in the next 3 games or so. The Tigers, as of right now, are first in wins. They are first in losses, which is in, I guess, the lowest losses. They are third in ERA, and this is in the league, MLB ranking. They're second in shutouts. They're 7th in saves. They're 3 in innings pitched. They're 10th in Ks. They're number 3 in WHIP. Hitting, they're 5. They're 5th in runs, 7th in hits, 6 in home runs, 4th in RBIs, 9 in batting average, 10 in on-base percentage, 6 in slugging percentage, and 6 in OPS. Surprising?
It means nothing.
It means nothing?
No. It means that they're winning. Playoffs is different.
Well, I agree with you on that.
That's all fine and dandy. That's good. That keeps you in the lead.
You know, they played pretty well last year in the playoffs.
Yep. That keeps you in the lead. That keeps you to wrap up the division. But it's the second season. You know, what's going to happen in the second season? That's all fine and dandy. Those are great numbers. They got, you know, they're doing everything right. They're doing everything right. But I would still, because you don't know what these kids are going to be like.
Well, that's true.
You don't know,
but we've seen them under pressure last year, and they were the best team with the last month and a half of the season.
But the key is last year. That's the key word. That's 2 key words.
But
last
they kept
year.
It going this year.
Yeah. Playoffs, they had a decent run. But again, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be different. It's going to be different because it has to be different.
Well, it's going to have to be different because
outcomes are different.
Now, but, you know, talking about the trade deadline coming up in the next couple of weeks, you know, when I see who people are trying to get, I don't know if I want any of them.
You don't want Skeens?
I don't think Skeens is going to be a possibility. I would love to have Skeens, and I'm going to tell you why. I would love to have Skeens because he's under contract till I think he's 28 or 29. He's under player control, team control. So if you lose Tarek Skubal, then you know, because honestly, do you really think we're going to spend that much for Skubal? I don't. We didn't spend the money to keep Scherzer here.
Well, you had a Ali knockout. You had a 1-2 with Scherzer and Verlander. You still didn't win the World Series,
right?
So there's no guarantee if Skeen comes over, you win the World. But I would still make
but like you said, because there's no guarantee. That's one reason I think you don't.
And there's no
spend
guarantee.
The farm.
I'm more guaranteed with Scuba and Skeens than young kids. That's more of a guarantee to me. I would look at it that way. If you can get something bigger to give up something small, do it.
But see,
when do you get back to the World Series? It's not easy to do that.
I feel like, you know, maybe it's just me, nostalgic purposes. I see 3 really good, solid baseball players that probably can make a difference in the next year or two. Why don't you keep that nucleus there? Because so you win a World Series. So then you're going to be horrible the next 4 or 5 years. To me, as a owner, to me as a fan, I don't know if I want to see them. I want to see them win a World Series, but I don't want for it to cost the next 4 seasons or 5 seasons, 6 seasons after that. We've already had a long enough drought. I would rather them stay competitive. I'd rather them stay in the same ballpark as the Rays and the Braves, keeping things with the young kids. Now, granted, they haven't won anything, but they've been successful, and maybe they have to wait another year or so to add that star player. You know what I'm saying? Because there's really not anybody out there that I can say that they can even go out and get. They're not going to get Skeens. I don't think that's going to happen. You heard a third baseman. I don't want to see him get Suarez.
Bregman.
No, I don't want to see him Bregman. Bregman didn't want to come here in the first place. I don't think Bregman would make a difference here. I don't.
Bigger bat. A plus. He's an A defensively.
An A defensively, but Baez is an A defensively.
Not at third. It's different.
He's played pretty well.
But then you can add him.
Colt Keith seems to be the guy that they're going with at third now.
That would be a brutal mistake. He stinks at third base. He absolutely stinks. He looks like Castellanos over there. He's terrible. He stinks. He's terrible at third. He's not a defensive. It's not his position.
Well, they have.
It's not a position.
Quite a bit.
They're trying. Ideally, everybody wants Keith. Ideally, because now it frees up room to keep Torres, to keep him all in, and he hits his little 8 home runs. He stinks.
But here's my thing:
if you get Bregman, get Keith out of here. Send him out. Trade him.
I wouldn't want Bregman. I don't know. I think they should. I don't know if they should stay put. I would make a few different changes. Not if it's going to cost you like 2 of your top prospects in the farm system. I just don't think so.
Prospects are prospects.
Well,
they're not closed deals.
Well, at one time, Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker and Parrish were all prospects. Jack Morris was a prospect.
I get it, but the time is now. You have to win now.
So
you have to win now.
Look what the Tigers in the '80s did. They didn't. They built up.
Different time. You got to win it now. Because if you've already been without a winner for 100 years. If you can get a World Series, don't trade. You sound like LeBron. It doesn't mean much. Get the ring now. If you can get it. If you can get the ring now. What it tells me is that some of you fans are thinking that you can't win it.